To be honest, I think this is just one of those types of things that you're going to have to really kind of talk to women about. So basically, in Ken's comment, he's saying that if what the woman in the original video is saying is true, that many women and blah, 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 men are not aware, because I can't see it right now, their partner is not attracted to them. I don't think this should be spoken of publicly. I think this is going to be a situation that you just really kind of have to talk to women about, or at least just really dive into the evolutionary workings of women. Women are just, we're different than men. So biologically, the way that men have evolved is that when they are aroused, the external symbols of arousal are right there for them to see. You have to understand that raw animal attraction is not safe for women. It is not biologically advantageous to women. So the way that women's bodies have evolved over millions of years is not only is our estrus, not only is when we are in heat, not only is our ovulation, not only is that cloaked on the inside, but women's arousal is cloaked from her as well. So they did this study where they put these rods to measure warmth, secretions, etc. inside of women, and they had them look at arousing material, and they had them press a button when the women became aware that they were aroused. What happened by and large is that these rods were able to detect arousal before the women even knew that they were aroused. You have to understand that a woman being head over heels, infatuated lustfully for a man is not safe for her. Evolutionarily, biologically, it's just not safe for her, because what is the end goal? What do men do with that raw attraction? Number one, there are also societal and they say evolutionary markers inside of men that make them averse to women who give it up, quote unquote, give it up easily. That they are distrusting, that they don't know, because, there were no pregnancy tests millions of years ago. And women who were indiscriminate with who it is that they would lay down with, the men would not know whether or not those children were theirs. And thus, we have societally, we lambast, we denigrate, we put down, we devalue women who are down for the get down, especially down for the get down early. This is why when women were commodified and traded, their virginity was a must. One of the classes that I'm taking right now is about forensic psychology with law, sexual violence against women and children, etc. Did you know that originally SA against a woman was a property crime? It was a property crime against the father, because once she was sullied, she lost her resale value. This is why when you hear these men on these podcasts talking about women like cars, this has come from long generations of patriarchal thinking and programming, where women were commodified and objectified and sold and traded and bought like objects. So when it comes to whether or not a woman is just head over heels, like, of course, respect. Of course, there has to be attraction. Like she's not going to be repulsed. But in terms of what is most important, in terms of having a mate and having that bond with your mate that like is going to keep you in that relationship, it is not the external. In your video, you talked about how there were many women that you were able to have intercourse with who were with men. And in your thing, you may be positing that it has something to do with the physique or the physical. If you were able to get in between a woman and her man, it's because he fell off with the emotional, psychological. He fell off with the mental maintenance. And he just wasn't, he's just, I wish that there was I'm talking it out loud, but I really wish that there was a better way that I could articulate it. But women are just different. We're just different. It's like the stuff that men value, and for the reasons that they value it, is not necessarily how we get down. Like, you have to remember that we have bonding hormones that will bind us to people. This is why a lot of the people in the red pill, in the manosphere, they try to talk about sleeping with women very, very early, because they know that there's this chemical that is going to make the woman stuck on him. But stuck on him to what end? When I did my response video and I was like, which relationships are better? The ones in which the man is more physically attracted to the woman than the woman, more physically attracted to him. When I say better, I'm talking about to the higher vibration. Like, what is going to make for a more elevated romantic situation? Is it going to be the one in which the woman is chasing the man, or the one in which the man is pursuing and trying to impress and trying to continue to earn, win, and keep the favor of the woman? And I really, I wish that I could take what it is that I know from deep inside of me and just put it out there into the world so that it's plain and easy to understand. It's difficult for me to even understand it. The only thing I can say is that there's different types of attraction, especially at different ages, for different reasons, etc. Let me see. I read this book years ago. I believe it's called Why Women Have Sex. That's the name of the book. And in the book, it talks about the olfactory sense of women, right? So you have to remember that there are different mating strategies for different reasons. And yes, there's going to be that heat that a woman may feel for a man, and want to like physically mate with him. So there's the genetic mating strategy where a woman can smell your immune system. Like if you ever remember, like women, like back in the days, how they would always ask for your sweatshirt or your t-shirt or something of yours that they can smell. A woman can smell whether or not your immune system is going to be a good genetic match. So sometimes that attraction is really it's a purely, we would make more resilient offspring type of attraction. And then there's that slow burn, that long-term attraction. There's two different mating strategies that women, that is primarily that women have, where they have the genetic mating strategy and then they have the long-term mating strategy. And the type of woman, the type of man that a woman is going to be looking for when her genes are guiding her versus when the evolutionary part of her DNA is looking for that long-term. Because it's not that she's not repulsed. And see, we value different things, men and women. And you're right. Maybe it shouldn't be spoken about publicly, because I don't think men will really understand, because to them, they're like, oh yeah, sure, don't be another person's second pick. But it's not that at all. Like these women you were able to get in between, to you, the sex was, I guess a good perk, but it wasn't for the keeping. They wasn't trying to, they know where their bread is buttered. Like they know where they're going home to. They know what's the best bet for them. I mean, like not like a toy, you know what I mean? Like boy toy. Oh, I wish I'm running out of time. All right.